There's uncertainty about whether a judge's decision this week to overturn Indiana's same-sex marriage ban will stick. It was a chaotic scene in many clerks' offices around the state this week as couples heard the news and rushed to get married. And the news caught many people off guard.
I was standing in the middle of a local store getting my lunch, and I got a text and I started crying. It was so moving. It was like the air changed. It became sweeter. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm a full citizen in my state now. And so even though I knew it was coming, it was still surprising how meaningful it was in that moment when it was real.
Now, couples know there's a chance a judge may approve Indiana Attorney General Greg Zoeller's request for a stay until the Supreme Court can weigh in on the case. Indiana University Maurer School of Law professor Deborah Widiss joins me now to discuss the potential stay, Supreme Court involvement, and what this can mean for same-sex couples who've already gotten married. Quickly, before we get into the heart of our discussion, just following up on the last conversation we had in the show, if you could differentiate between civil marriages, religious marriages, and what the implications of the ruling.
Sure. So I think that's a really important point to clarify. So the ruling just applies to civil marriages. That's what the state must recognize. Is churches can still make their own decisions about whether or not they will grant whether or not they'll celebrate a same-sex marriage in accordance with their own doctrine and their own beliefs.
If you can sort of read into your tea leaves here, do you have any idea how long this window might stay open where same-sex couples can get married?
It's hard to say. I mean, it could be that the appeal will progress without a stay ever being issued, or it could be that a stay would come down any day now.
In some of the other states, it's been relatively soon.
Usually it's relatively quick.
Okay. So what is the legal situation like in some of these other states where same-sex marriage was legalized and then a stay was issued?
So Utah is, there was I think 17 days during which couples could get married, and then a stay was issued. And Utah is taking the position that the state will not recognize those marriages, but the federal government is recognizing those marriages. And I would think that the same thing might happen here if a stay is issued.
Then what does that really mean to the people involved in this?
Well, they're still legally married. The state is just not treating them as married, but if they leave Utah and go to a state that does recognize same-sex marriage, they have a marriage.
But in Indiana, they potentially wouldn't receive the benefits a married couple would receive.
Correct.
Okay. I know there are, more than 1,000 benefits,
right.
But can you sort of talk about just a couple of the major ones that married couples get now, same-sex married couples would get?
I mean, basically, it puts in place a default for recognizing a relationship that matters. If you die, who's presumptively your heir? If you get sick, who presumptively can make decisions for you? How the government treats you as a unit when you file your taxes, who you can take time off from work for to take care of, so kind of a whole host of different kinds of rights and benefits.
And some of the folks we've talked to, I mean, they've been together for decades. You can understand their rush to get married, but would you urge them to wait? I mean, people are still doing it.
I think that it's important that couples understand that they might be in some kind of legal limbo, but if their hearts are moving them to get married right now, then I think that couples have waited a long time. They just need to know that there might be some uncertainty in the future.
Thank you so much, Deborah.
Thank you for having me.